This was not the video I planned for today. I was on this path here, and I was gathering all the stuff there, but the stuff wasn't coming in. I had ordered the stuff and it hadn't arrived. And I was doing some other searching and stuff, and I went over that way. Took a huge left turn. And these were so interesting. I was like, I've got to do these. Hey, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kyra. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no demons, none of that fancy stuff going on here. And this was so interesting. I'm going down two different paths here. I've got this group of stuff that I want to do here, and I've got these all lined up, and I've got the books all picked out. And I went this way. So now I've got a whole nother set of books picked out. I've got like 8 weeks worth of videos up here, all planned out already. I went through a drought for a couple weeks, and I was like, I need something. So I got this idea, and it took a while to investigate and search engines were doing me crazy. And I'm always telling you, D. Louise book series, if then. Before you go doing all those search engines, do the D. Louise book series and see if I've covered your topic. If not, if I haven't, put it in the comments and maybe I'll look into it for next year. But these videos, I think I'm finishing out the year with these two different sets. So, like I said, I was going down this path here, and I will get back to this in a little bit. But so this is libraries or librarians, sci-fi or fantasy. It just went that way. Where's that book? I hope it's here. What happened to that book? Alright. So, it went this way. Alright, so our first book. And I ordered these and I'm not waiting for them to come in. So, we're going to do pictures. Alright. So, Jeff Kennedy. The Pages of the Mind. Magic has broken free over the 12 kingdoms. The population is beset by shapeshifters and portent landscapes that migrate uncanny allies who are not quite human, and enemies eager to take advantage of the chaos. Daphne Mill is no adventurer. She's a librarian. But the High Queen trusts Daphne's ability with languages, her way of winning the useful facts from a dusty scroll, and even more important, the subtlety and guile that 3 decades under the thumb of a tyrant have taught her. Daphne never thought to need those skills again, but she accepts her duty until her journey drops her into the arms of the barbarian king. He speaks no tongue she knows but that of power, yet he recognizes his captive as a valuable pawn. Daphne must submit to a wedding of alliance, becoming a prisoner queen in a court she does not understand. If she is to save herself and her country, she will have to learn to read the heart of a wild stranger, and there are more secrets written there than even Daphne could suspect. These are interesting. Okay, that was book 1. We're on to book 2. Iris Martin Cohen. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it today. Ava Gallanter is the librarian in residence at the Lazarus Club, an ancient, dwindling Manhattan arts club full of eccentric elderly residents stuck in a long-gone era. 25-year-old Ava, however, feels right at home, quietly surrounded by her beloved books and sequestered away from her peers. When Ava's enigmatic friend Stephanie returns to town on the hunt for fame and fortune, she promises to make Eva's dreams of becoming a writer come true. Together they start a literary salon at the Lazarus Club. However, Ava's romanticized idea of the salon quickly erodes as Stephanie's aspirations take the woman into unexpected and precarious directions. What do you think? Interesting. You don't think of library books like this. You just don't. The Village Library Demon Hunting Society. Librarian Sherry Pink Whistle keeps finding bodies and solving murders, but she's convinced by just how many killers she's had to track down in her quaint village. None of her neighbors seem surprised by the rising body count, but Sherry is becoming convinced that whatever has been causing these deaths is unnatural. When someone close to Sherry ends up dead and her cat Lord Thomas Crowell becomes possessed by what seems to be an ancient demon, Sherry begins to think she's going to need to become an exorcist as well as an amateur sleuth. With the help of her town's new priest and an assortment of friends who dub themselves the Demon Hunting Society, Sherry will have to solve the murder and get rid of the demon. This is one I wish I could have gotten sooner. The Haunting of Headgate Cavendish. England, 1881. Hereford Cathedral stands sentinel over the city, keeping its secrets, holding long-forgotten souls in its stony embrace. Headgate Cavendish speeds through the cobbled streets on her bicycle skirts hitched daringly high, heading for her new life as assistant librarian. But this is no ordinary collection of books. The cathedral houses an ancient chained library, wisdom guarded for centuries, mysteries and stories locked in its worn, humble shells. The most prized artifact, however, is the medieval world map, which hangs next to Hecktake's desk. Little does she know how much the curious people and mythical creatures depicted on it will come to mean to her, nor does she suspect that there are lost souls waiting for her in the haunted cathedral. Some will become her dearest friends, some will seek her help in finding peace, and others will put her in great peril, as she quickly learns, threaten the lives of everyone she loves. In no particular... Oh, that's for the other group. Now, this author... I took all three of them off the shelf. Where's the other one? I just couldn't... Okay, I took all three of them off the shelf because they were just so interesting. So I have the same author 3 times because these were just really curious. The Archive of the Forgotten. The library of the unwritten in hell was saved from total devastation, but hundreds of potential books were destroyed and the dreams that were held within them will never be realized. When the remnants of those books begin to leak a strange ink, former librarian Claire realizes that the challenges within the library have only just begun. Claire and Brevity, the muse, are immediately at odds concerning how to treat the ink, and they are not only the ones interested in mysterious powers. As tensions between Claire and Brevity rise, their companions, Hero and Remy, search the other realms for the mystical origins of the unwritten books. But time is running out. Brevity will have to decide where her allegiance lies, and that choice will remake the library forever. The Library of Unwritten. I'm probably not even doing these in order. Many years ago, Claire was named head librarian of the Uncommon Wing, a neutral space in hell where all the stories unfinished by their authors reside. Her job consists of mainly of repairing and organizing books, but also keeping an eye on the restless stories that risk materializing as characters and escaping the library. When a hero escapes from his book and goes in search of its author, Claire must track and capture him with the help of the former nurse, Muse, and current assistant Brevity, and the nervous and sweetest demon, Leto. But what should have been a simple retrieval goes horrifyingly wrong when the terrifying angel Ramiel attacks them, convinced that they hold the Devil's Bible. The text of the Devil's Bible is a weapon in the power struggle between heaven and hell, as it falls to librarians to find a book with the ability to reshape the boundaries between heaven and hell. I'm telling you, these things were interesting as all hell. The God of Lost Words. Claire, rakish hero Angel Rami, and muse librarian Brevity have accomplished the impossible by discovering the true nature of unwritten books. But now the secret is out. It's in its quest for power. Hell will be coming for every wing of the library. To protect the unwritten wing and stave off the insidious reach of Malpas, one of Hell's most bloodthirsty generals, Clara and her friends will have to decide how much they're willing to sacrifice to keep their vulnerable corner of the afterlife. Succeeding would mean rewriting the nature of the library, but losing would mean obliteration. The Department of Rare Books and Special Collections. Lisa Weiss long ago learned to be content working behind the scenes in the distinguished rare books department of a large university, quietly managing details to make the head of the department look good. But when her boss has a stroke and she's left to run things, she discovers that the library's most prized manuscript is missing. Lisa tries to sound the alarm and inform the police about the missing priceless book, but it's told repeatedly to keep quiet, to keep the doors open and the donors happy. But then a librarian unexpectedly stops showing up for work. Lisa must investigate both disappearances, unspooling her colleagues' past like the threads of a rare book binding as it becomes clear that someone in the department must be responsible for the theft. When Liesel discovers about the dusty manuscript she has worked long for, and about the people who care for and revere them, shakes the foundation on which she has built her life. The Mortal Word, an Invisible Library. When Irene returns to London after a relatively straightforward book theft in Germany, Bremnit informs her that there is top-secret Dragon Fae peace conference in progress that the library is meditating, and that the second-in-command dragon has been stabbed to death. Tasked with solving the case, Vale and Irene immediately go to 1890s Paris to start their investigation. Once they arrive, they find evidence suggesting that the murder victim might have uncovered proof of treachery by one of the more librarians. But to ensure the peace of the conference, some librarians are being held as hostages in the Dragon and Fae courts. To save the captives, including her parents, Irene must get to the bottom of this murderer. But was it a dragon, a fae, or even a librarian that committed the crime? Midnight is the darkest hour. No. Sorry. Midnight is the darkest hour. Fans of verity and a flicker in dark, midnight is the darkest hour, is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and the beastly urges that lie dormant within us all. Even the God-fearing folk of Bottom Springs, Louisiana, in her small hometown librarian, Ruth Cornier has always felt like an outsider, even as her beloved father rains fire and brimstone warnings from the pulpit at Holy Fire Baptist. Unfortunately for Ruth, the only things the townspeople fear more than God and the devil are the mists that haunt the area, like the story of the low man, a vampire figure said to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on moonless nights. When a skull is found deep in the swamp next to mysterious carved symbols, Bottom Springs is thrown into an uproar, and Ruth realizes only she and Everett, an old friend with a dark past, have the power to comb through the town's secret underbelly in search of the true evil. These books are so interesting, aren't they? Who knew sci-fi or fantasy involving libraries? Who knew? The Dark Library. Cyril Martinez's library books. The books are alive, not just their ideas or their stories, but the books themselves. Meet the angry young book who has strong opinions about who reads what and why. He's tired of people reading bestsellers, so he places himself on the desk of those who might appreciate him. Hear him tell the story of the old historian who mysteriously vanishes from the stacks, or spend a day with the red librarian trying to banish coffee cups and laptops and readers who never pick up a book. Now, have you seen the TV show? There's a TV show. I didn't realize it till I got home, because I just got it and just got the book, and it wasn't till I got home that I realized that I've watched this TV show, and they've redone it now. There's another version of it. There's a newer version of it, but this is the first version. The Librarians. Actually, no, this is the second version. The Librarians and the Lost Lamp. 10 years ago, only Flynn Corson, the last of the librarians, stood against an ancient criminal organization known as the 40. They stole the oldest known copy of the Arabian Nights by Shiraz, and Flynn feared they intended to steal Aladdin's fabled lamp. He raced to find it before they could unleash a trapped, malevolent genie upon the world. Today, Flynn is no longer alone. A group of librarians led by Eve Baird, their tough-as-nails guardian, have been assembled. The team travels to Las Vegas to investigate a man with improbable luck, suspecting a precarious, unknown artifact has emerged. With new threats surrounding the librarian, it becomes clear that Flynn's quest 10 years ago in the past could hold the key to unsolving the problems of the present. It will take the cunning of all three and their guardian to save one man from himself and the world from total annihilation. And our last book, by an author that I know and deal with on Flashback Monday quite often. Trying to figure out why. Oh, okay. CARLA NEGGERS, That Night on Thistle Lane. Librarian Phoebe O'Dunn deals in stories, but her passion for history has taught her that happy endings are rare. Her life in Knightsbridge, Massachusetts is uneventful until she discovers the hidden room among its secrets in a spectacular gown, perfect for a gala masquerade in Boston. In the guise of a princess, Phoebe is captivated by a handsome swashbuckler. Noah Kendrick's wealth has made him weary, especially of women. When Noah and Phoebe meet again in Knightsbridge, at first recognizes the other, and Neither one is sure they can trust the magic of the night they shared until an unexpected threat prompts them to unmask their truest selves. Oh, I might put this in the romance pile too. We'll have to see. I got so many different categories from these. So what do you think? What do you think of library and sci-fi fantasy situation going on here? We got some fae, we got some demons, we got some hell, we got some dragons. What do you think? Was it good? Those were interesting. Those were really, really interesting. So, check out next week. I'm not sure which way I'm going next week. If I'm going library, if I'm going cop. We'll have to see. But I'm really enjoying the heck out of these library things, and I've got like 6 different categories. So, check me out next week for If Then. Let's see. This is If Then 87. So, next week. Oh, nope. This is If Then 88. Excuse me, last week was 87. I forgot to write the number down. But, yes, so this is If Then 88. Tune in next week for If Then 89 and all the other If Thens. There's over 100 out there. I got screwed up in the beginning with the numbers. And I just didn't go back and fix it. I'm not good with thumbnails. So anyways, have a good day. Enjoy it. Don't forget Voyager. And some sort of new Flashback Monday by now. Have a good one.